The next thing I want to talk about is Amazon buying an exclusive streaming-only NFL playoff game next year. Now, it's no secret, we talked about this at length on the podcast, in the newsletter, and on Twitter too, that Peacock did this strategy last year. They paid $110 million for an exclusive NFL streaming-only game on Peacock. That was the Chiefs and the Dolphins game, and things went incredibly well. They got 23 million viewers for that. Their app shot up to the #1 overall app in the App Store. Their Google search volume hit a level we had never seen before on Google Trends. And more importantly, they got 2.8 million people to sign up for the service. Now, obviously, it's become cool to say that people churned from it, that they were going to unsubscribe immediately after watching the game. And every time I tweeted about it, people said, thanks for the reminder. I'm going to go unsubscribe now. But from what I've heard, and many other people have been reporting inside of NBC, the churn numbers were actually much better than they anticipated. So we'll see where that ends up shaking out at the end of the year or their next earnings call. But Amazon now wanted in on the pie after seeing how well things went for Peacock. Now, the interesting part about this to me is that CNBC's Alex Sherman has reported this week that Amazon is paying $150 million for this one game alone. Now, the reason why that's so important is because they're paying 36% higher than Peacock did just a month ago. And Amazon actually had the right to purchase the first ever streaming-only exclusive NFL playoff game last year through their contract that's worth $1 billion annually with the NFL for Thursday Night Football. Now, Amazon declined the option to purchase that game. Peacock swooped in and bought it for $110 million. And as I just said, everything went so well for Peacock that Amazon came back and said, whoa, no. We are not going to make that mistake twice. We'll pay a little bit extra because it went so well for Peacock. $150 million this year. We're going to get our own game next year. Now, I would caution Amazon here and everyone else to lower your expectations when it comes to results, though. Number one, if you think about Amazon, most NFL fans already have Amazon because of their deal with Thursday Night Football. Now, that's not to say that they won't get some additional signups. I think during their first ever Thursday Night Football game, they got more signups during that 3-hour period in and around the game than they do ever in company history, and that they did for Amazon Prime Day ever before in history. So football is obviously a great wedge to be able to get people to commit to your app and sign up to watch a game. If they can't watch it anywhere else, if it's exclusive, that is an incredible incentive to get people to sign up. But again, most football fans that watch games every single week already have Amazon Prime, not only because of shopping, but because they want to watch football games. They had an exclusive Black Friday game this past year as well. So the sign-up numbers are going to be lower than they were for Peacock. Also, if you think about the viewership number, 23 million was so high because, one, there was so much noise around the game going into it, but two, it was an amazing game. It was literally the best option that Peacock could have gotten. It was the Kansas City Chiefs coming off a Super Bowl looking to repeat against the Miami Dolphins, who had a great year and have a huge fan base, but also you had the Taylor Swift effect that we've been talking about all year that has led to viewership increases for the AFC divisional game. It led to viewership records in the AFC championship game, and it also led to a viewership record in this year's Super Bowl. So they got the hot teams for an exclusive game in the first round of the playoffs. Could have been better for Peacock, and that's another reason why I don't think Amazon is going to see as good of an outcome. But it's also why I would say that the NFL and Roger Goodell specifically are the biggest winners out of all these deals. I talk about sports leagues all the time. And one of the things that I always mention is how the NFL does a better job than anyone else monetizing their media rights. Obviously, it helps that they're the most popular show in town. But if you think about their partners, we're talking about broadcast partners, cable partners, and then one streaming partner really in Amazon that has a big package. But at the end of the day, no other sports league has been able to slice and dice their inventory across a number of different partners, all of them bidding against each other and increasing the fees over time. I mean, they're going to get over $110 billion over the next decade for these fees. Even the NBA, they traditionally deal with one, maybe two, maybe three partners. This new upcoming deal might be a little bit wider, but at the end of the day, no one does it like the NFL, and they're continuing to do this. And we're going towards a model that feels a little bit more pay-per-view. Now, I don't think we're going to get there with the Super Bowl. The commercials are still extremely lucrative. CBS this past year made over $600 million, close to $700 million in ad revenue alone. They're paying $2 billion the entire year for all of their games, including Sunday afternoon games plus playoff games. So that's a tremendous amount of revenue that they're able to bring back from just one game alone. I don't think the Super Bowl is going to go to pay-per-view anytime soon because of that. But if we're already in the playoffs talking about pay-per-view model where one-off games are going to be sold to individual companies, then what makes me not think that they're going to do this with the divisional round or the AFC championship or the NFC championship or something that's going to get 40 million viewers or 50 million viewers like those games did last year? That is going to happen, and these numbers are going to continue to go higher if they continue to perform like they did for Peacock last year. And the craziest part about this is that the number is already really high. If you think about $150 million for this one game, MLS, Major League Soccer, is getting $250 million a year from Apple for all of their inventory. Literally every single game is in their closed ecosystem on Apple TV for $250 million a year. We're going to live in a world where the NFL is able to get that for one playoff game. Absolutely, that is coming in the near future, and it's probably going to come before MLS's deal is up with Apple TV over the next decade. This is something that is just a stark reminder of how big the NFL is today. They're able to command more media money than anything ever before because they're the hottest show in town. They were the only sports league outside of college football as well that had representation in the top 100 U.S. broadcast last year. They are by far and away the most popular sports league in the United States. And even when you expand to the total world globally, they're the most profitable sports league by far.